Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning only to feel the weight of the day pressing down before it even begins? Perhaps your mind races with unfinished tasks, unanswered messages, and expectations from others. Or maybe you notice a subtle restlessness, a quiet unease that keeps you from feeling grounded. If so, you are not alone. Many of us begin our mornings already pulled away from ourselves, carried by thoughts and distractions before we even take our first conscious breath. But imagine for a moment starting the day differently. Imagine opening your eyes and greeting the morning with clarity rather than clutter, with calmness instead of chaos. Imagine a mind that is steady and a heart that is open no matter what challenges await you. This meditation is designed to help you do just that. By the end of this session, you will have practiced a series of gentle but powerful techniques rooted in mindfulness and Buddhist-inspired wisdom. You will learn how to calm the restlessness of your mind, how to focus your attention with compassion, and how to carry this presence with you into the flow of your day. So, if you are ready to create mornings of stillness and focus, take this time for yourself. Let's walk together on this path of mindful awareness. And if you find value here, I invite you to subscribe to Mindfulness, where we continue sharing practices to help you live with peace, clarity, and intention. 1. Awakening through breath. When the body wakes, the mind often lingers in shadows. Breath is the bridge between the two, the simple thread that connects your awareness with the present moment. In the Buddhist tradition, breathing is not just a biological function, it is a teacher, always guiding us back to what is real and immediate. Begin by noticing your breath without changing it. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the soft movement of air as it enters and leaves your body. Let yourself recognize that this breath has been with you since the very first moment of your life and will stay until the last. Each breath is an invitation to begin again. There is a story told about a young monk who often struggled with distraction during meditation. He went to his teacher, frustrated that he could not still his mind. The teacher simply placed his hand on the monk's chest and said, "Feel this breath. This is the only moment you need to know." With those words, the monk realized that he did not need to control his thoughts. He only needed to be with his breath, moment by moment. As you sit here now, allow yourself to do the same. With each inhale, silently say to yourself, "I am here." With each exhale, silently say, "I am calm." Continue for a few cycles. The words are not a command, but a gentle reminder, planting seeds of presence. Over time, this practice reshapes the way your mornings feel. Instead of being swept away by restlessness, you return to the steady rhythm of breathing. Instead of trying to force calmness, you allow calmness to emerge naturally. Breath becomes your anchor, and through it you awaken not just the body, but the mind. 2. Grounding awareness in the body. Breath brings us into the moment, but the body is where mindfulness takes root. Without grounding in the body, awareness floats and drifts. To begin your day with steadiness, it is essential to inhabit your body fully, to rest attention in the living sensations that are always here. Bring your focus gently to the weight of your body where you are sitting or lying. Notice the subtle contact points, your feet on the ground, your legs supported, your back resting. These are simple sensations, yet they are doorways into presence. There is an old tale of a wanderer who asked a wise hermit, "How do you keep from losing yourself in the world's distractions?" The hermit smiled and touched the earth beneath him. "I return here again and again. The earth never leaves me." In this way, your body is your earth. By attending to the body's sensations, you remind yourself that you are not just a stream of thoughts, but a living being grounded in this moment. Scan slowly from the crown of your head down to your toes, noticing warmth, tension, or ease. Whatever you find, greet it with acceptance. If you encounter restlessness or discomfort, do not resist. Instead, soften your attention around it, like water flowing gently around a stone. This is how presence deepens, not by erasing what is here, but by making space for it. The more you cultivate this grounding, the more natural it becomes to carry awareness into daily life. Walking to the kitchen, brushing your teeth, pouring a cup of tea, each movement can be felt, each action fully lived. Through grounding in the body, you give your mind a home. Instead of drifting into tomorrow's worries or yesterday's regrets, you rest in the immediacy of living. In this way, every morning becomes an opportunity not just to awaken, but to arrive. 3. Cultivating calm through mindful observation. Calmness is not the absence of thought. It is not a blank space where nothing happens. Calmness arises when we relate to our experience with clarity and gentleness, allowing each thought, each sensation, and each emotion to appear and dissolve without resistance. In this practice, we shift from focusing only on the breath or body to observing the movements of the mind itself. Imagine your awareness as an open sky. Within that sky, thoughts come and go like drifting clouds. Some clouds may be light and passing, others may feel heavy, carrying storms of worry or regret. Yet, the sky itself is never disturbed. It simply allows each cloud to pass in its own time. As you sit in the stillness of morning, begin to watch your thoughts with this same attitude. Notice when the mind brings up a plan for the day. Acknowledge it and let it move on. Notice when the mind remembers something from yesterday. Acknowledge it and let it pass. Do not follow each thought into its story. Instead, allow it to rise and fade like a wave returning to the ocean. In mindfulness meditation, this process is not about pushing thoughts away. It is about recognizing their nature. Each thought, no matter how intense, is temporary. Each feeling, no matter how gripping, is impermanent. By resting in this understanding, calmness naturally deepens. When distractions arise, and they will, greet them with kindness. Do not judge yourself for wandering. The moment you notice you are distracted is the very moment awareness has returned. Gently guide attention back, again and again, like returning home. Over time, this practice strengthens the ability to remain steady even in the midst of activity. In daily life, unexpected events, conversations, and challenges will come. Yet, when the mind has trained in calm observation, you no longer need to be pulled in every direction. You remain spacious, grounded, and steady. Morning meditation is a time to plant these seeds. By observing thoughts with openness, you prepare the mind to meet the day with clarity. Calmness is not created by controlling life, but by relating to it with wisdom. Each morning you practice, you water this quality of inner peace, allowing it to grow naturally. 4. Strengthening focus with gentle attention. While calmness is the ground of mindfulness, focus is the structure built upon it. Without focus, the mind scatters like water spilled on the ground. With focus, awareness gathers, like water held in a clear bowl. Focus is not forceful concentration, but a gentle, steady returning of attention to what matters. In this practice, we choose a simple object of focus, the breath, the body, or a word of reflection, and we remain with it. Begin by selecting the breath. Feel its rhythm clearly, from the coolness of the inhale to the warmth of the exhale. Each time the mind wanders, notice it softly and return to the breath without judgment. This repeated returning is how focus is strengthened. Think of focus as training a gentle but loyal companion. At first, the companion wanders, curious about every sound and sensation. With patience, kindness, and practice, the companion learns to stay by your side. Focus grows not through harsh discipline, but through steady guidance. When your attention remains with the breath, notice the quality of presence that emerges. You may feel a sense of clarity, as though the mind becomes sharper, more awake. You may notice an ease, as though distractions lose their weight. This is the gift of focus. It gathers scattered energy and channels it into clarity. Beyond the breath, you may bring focus to other areas. You might rest attention in the feeling of the body as a whole, or repeat a simple word such as peace or clarity in rhythm with the breath. Each serves the same purpose: to steady the mind, to remind it of its center. With regular practice, focus cultivated in the morning carries into daily life. Tasks that once felt overwhelming are approached one step at a time. Conversations that once felt scattered become opportunities to truly listen. Even ordinary moments, such as drinking tea or walking, become occasions to be fully present. It is important to remember that focus does not mean narrowing so tightly that the rest of life disappears. Instead, it is about resting in clarity, even while life continues to move around you. Focus is gentle, steady, and kind. It does not resist the world, but meets it with presence. In the stillness of morning, this quality of attention is strengthened, and as the day unfolds, it becomes a guiding force, helping you act with intention, respond with wisdom, and live with a centered heart. 5. Nurturing compassion and kind intention. Calm attention and steady focus open the heart's capacity to care. Compassion here is not an extra task to be performed, but an orientation that arises when attention is steady and the inner climate is unclouded. Begin by allowing the breath to settle, letting the rhythm of inhalation and exhalation soften the edge of the morning. Bring a gentle, non-judging awareness to the body and mind. Presence itself is the first act of kindness. Offer a quiet intention for the day. On the in-breath, think or feel, "May I be safe." On the out-breath, think or feel, "May I be calm." Repeat short phrases that resonate for you. "May I be well," "May I be kind," using them as soft anchors. If words feel awkward, rest in the felt sense of warmth or a small relaxation in the chest. The effectiveness of intention comes from the continued return to it, not from eloquence. Turn attention to the heart area. You may rest one hand lightly over the chest to support embodied care. Notice any sensations arising, tension, tightness, or ease, without trying to change them. If a difficult feeling appears, name it gently. "Here is fatigue," or "Here is worry." Naming creates an inner companion and reduces isolation. It opens room for a kinder response. Self-compassion requires practical tenderness. When a critical thought surfaces, do not engage in argument. Instead, respond with a grounded phrase such as, "This is hard. I will do what I can." Allow the phrase to land in the body. These small, repeated acts of kindness gradually recondition habitual harshness into responsive presence. Expand your concern outward. Hold the same warmth and offer the same wishes to someone you care for. May you be calm. May you be well. Notice how directing compassion outward may change your breath or posture. Extend this circle to colleagues and strangers, recognizing that all people seek ease and dignity. Compassion grows when practiced in both inward and outward directions. When conflict or irritation arises with another, pause for a single breath and center attention in the heart. Ask inwardly, "What is needed here?" Curiosity tempers defensiveness and creates space for a skillful response. Compassion does not mean tolerating harm. It supports clear boundaries offered with steadiness. In conversation, this balance looks like calm firmness, limits stated from presence rather than from agitation. Make compassion practical through small actions. Send a brief message of appreciation, listen fully without preparing a rebuttal, or take a mindful pause before responding. Use embodied cues to sustain kindness. Place a hand over the heart, soften the jaw, release the shoulders. These simple gestures anchor intention and are especially useful when your day feels busy or draining. Structure the day with compassionate priorities. Choose one essential task rather than scattering effort across many. Rest when it replenishes capacity. Treating rest as necessary care prevents later depletion. When mistakes occur, turn to inquiry rather than blame. Ask what conditions led to the result and what repair is useful. Responses grounded in curiosity promote learning and repair instead of shame. To sustain compassion through a busy or challenging day, build small rituals. Pause for 3 conscious breaths at transitions, before opening email, before entering a conversation, before meals, and use that moment to renew your intention. Keep a short list of doable, compassionate actions you can offer when time allows. A note of thanks, a 2-sentence check-in, a mindful listen. When energy is low, prioritize one compassionate act for yourself. A warm drink taken slowly, a short walk, or 10 breaths with attention in the heart. Over time, these repeated small choices form a steady orientation of care. 6. Carrying mindfulness into the day. Meditation at dawn is a seed. Carrying its fruits into the day is the practice. The qualities cultivated in the morning, calmness, focus, and compassion, are portable and can be accessed again and again. The aim is not to freeze the day into stillness, but to move through tasks with quiet presence, choosing actions from clarity rather than habit. Begin by making the first movements after meditation deliberate. Notice the sensation of standing, the contact of your feet with the floor, the flow of breath. Use transitions as anchors for returning to awareness. Before opening a device, stepping outside, or entering a task, pause for one full breath. This brief pause is a powerful habit that interrupts automatic reactivity. Over time, these micro-pauses stitch together continuity of practice, making mindfulness available even in busy moments. In conversation, take a breath before responding. This simple rhythm invites listening rather than immediate reply. When intense emotions arise, apply a clear sequence. Notice the feeling. Allow it to be present. Inquire gently into its nature and offer what soothes or responds. Name the emotion to lessen its grip. Bring curiosity to bodily sensation and breathe kindly into the area of tension. This compact process helps you move through upset with steadiness rather than being swept along by it. At work, use mindful clarity to structure time. Break tasks into focused segments with short rests in between. Before a meeting, take a breath and set a clear intention for presence. When finishing an item, pause and notice completion rather than sliding automatically into the next task. These small acts of closure increase focus and reduce mental residue, making your attention more efficient and less scattered. Digital life invites scattered attention. Set simple boundaries. Schedule times for checking email. Mute non-essential notifications and choose a device-free window each morning if possible. When you interact digitally, practice a brief check. Pause, breathe, then act. This rhythm keeps your nervous system calmer and saves attention for what truly matters. Listening deeply is a practical form of mindfulness. When someone speaks, allow full attention to rest on their words and tone, and become aware of the impulse to formulate an answer. Each time you notice that impulse, return to listening. Deep listening transforms ordinary exchanges into occasions for real connection, guiding responses that are clearer and more compassionate. Use short, embodied practices throughout the day. Take 3 conscious breaths at the top of the hour. Do a brief body scan, head, heart, belly, or stand and feel the weight shift between feet for 30 seconds. These gestures recalibrate your nervous system and bring presence back into action without taking much time. When commuting or moving between places, use the journey as a rhythm of practice. Notice sensations of movement, the alignment of breath with steps, or the subtle shifting of posture. If walking, feel each step as an opportunity to return home to the present. If driving, allow a slightly slower tempo and keep attention on breath and road rather than getting lost in reactive thought. In moments of stress, recognize bodily signs. Tight shoulders or shallow breath. Allow them without judgment. Inquire what the most helpful next step is, and then respond with a small, deliberate action. A longer exhale, a glass of water, a brief walk, or a calm word. This practical sequence helps meet difficulty with skill and care. End your day with a short closing practice. Before sleep, scan the body. Note one instance where you acted with presence and one moment you will meet differently tomorrow. This gentle reflection is not for self-critique, but for learning and settling. Over days and weeks, these nightly closures turn the day's events into a steady field of practice, and presence becomes less effortful and more natural. As this meditation comes to a close, take a moment to reflect on what you have cultivated. You began by awakening through the breath, grounding in the body, observing the movements of the mind, strengthening focus, nurturing compassion, and finally carrying this presence into the day. Each step has built upon the last, creating a foundation of calmness and clarity. Remember that mindfulness is not about perfection. It is about presence. Some days your mind will feel steady. Other days it may wander. What matters is not the absence of distraction, but the willingness to return again and again to this moment. Every return is a step on the path of awareness. As you move forward today, Carry with you the qualities you have nourished here. Let your breath remind you of calmness. Let your body ground you in presence. Let compassion shape your actions. In this way, meditation becomes more than a practice. It becomes a way of living,